Stop for a moment. Not scrolling, not thinking ahead. Just stop. Take a slow breath and look at your life honestly. Not the version you talk about, not the version you imagine, the one you are actually living right now. How much time have you spent lately watching videos that promise change? How many times have you felt inspired for a few minutes, maybe even an hour, convinced that something inside you had shifted? You felt focused, motivated, certain. And then, quietly, everything went back to normal. This is not because you are weak. It is because you are never changing anything. You are only imagining change. Imagining a better future feels good. Planning feels productive. Visualizing success gives you a sense of movement. Your mind rewards you for it. You feel like you are on the right path, even when your body hasn't moved at all. And this is where the trap begins. Your brain does not clearly separate imagination from reality. When you picture success vividly, your body reacts as if it already happened. You feel relief, hope, satisfaction. And because of that, urgency disappears. Why rush into discomfort when you already feel rewarded? So you keep planning, you keep thinking, you keep watching. And slowly, without noticing, imagination becomes a form of anesthesia. It numbs the discomfort of not acting. It allows you to feel busy without being brave. Meanwhile, real life stays untouched. Someone else, less prepared than you, is doing something messy and imperfect. They are confused. They are making mistakes. They don't feel ready. But they are acting. And because they are acting, they are learning. And because they are learning, they are moving forward. You are not behind because you lack ability. You are behind because you keep waiting for the perfect moment. That moment does not exist. You tell yourself you need more clarity, more motivation, more confidence. But clarity comes from action, not thinking. Motivation comes after movement, not before it. Confidence is built by surviving discomfort, not avoiding it. The present moment is not clean or inspiring. It is awkward, heavy, demanding. And that is exactly why you avoid it. You escape into tomorrow because tomorrow does not ask anything from you yet. But here is the truth that changes everything. There is no future where your life begins. There is only now. Every future you dream of can only be built through actions taken in the present. If you cannot act now, you cannot build later. There is no shortcut around this. You may say, "One day I will start." But how many times have you said that already? How many plans are still waiting? How many versions of your life exist only in your head? One day feels comforting, but it is empty. It has no weight, no risk, no cost. And because of that, it produces no results. Real change always begins with discomfort, with a step that feels too small, too awkward, too unimpressive. But that step matters more than any plan you have ever made. This is not a motivational speech. It is a mirror, and what you see in it may be uncomfortable. But discomfort is not the enemy. Avoidance is. You do not need another vision board. You do not need another plan. You do not need another video. You need to act where you are, with what you have, as you are. That is the only place where life actually moves. The prison of perfection and the lie of readiness. Once you accept that action must happen now, another obstacle appears. It is quieter, more intelligent, and harder to detect. Perfection. It disguises itself as high standards, careful planning, and responsibility. But underneath, it is fear. You tell yourself you don't want to start until things are right, until you feel prepared, until you have more time, more energy, more confidence. This sounds reasonable. It even sounds mature. But in reality, it keeps you frozen. Perfection does not push you forward. It keeps you waiting. The more clearly you imagine your ideal future, the more intimidating reality becomes. The gap between where you are and where you want to be starts to feel too large. Anything you could do today seems insignificant compared to the perfect image in your head. So you delay again. You say, it's not the right moment. You say, I'll do it properly later. You say, I'm not ready yet. But readiness is not something you discover. It is something you create by acting. No one ever felt fully ready before doing something meaningful. They felt uncertain, exposed, and uncomfortable. They moved anyway. Waiting to feel ready is like waiting to learn how to swim before entering the water. It doesn't happen. You learn by struggling, by adjusting, by staying in contact with reality. Another dangerous belief follows closely behind perfection. The idea that your first attempt must be impressive. That if you begin, it should already look like success. This belief puts enormous pressure on the start, so you avoid starting altogether. But every meaningful thing begins badly. The first version is awkward. The first attempt is messy. The first steps are slow and embarrassing. This is not failure. This is training. Skill is built through repetition, not inspiration. While you polish your plan, someone else launches something unfinished. While you refine your idea, someone else gathers feedback. While you protect your image, someone else builds experience. The difference is not talent. It is tolerance for imperfection. Perfectionism is not ambition. It is avoidance. It allows you to stay safe while convincing yourself you are serious. It keeps your dreams untouched and therefore untested. But untouched dreams don't grow. They decay. You don't need to do everything at once. You don't need to transform your life overnight. That idea itself is another fantasy. What you need is a single, concrete action that brings your idea into the real world. Not tomorrow, today. Small actions matter because they break the spell of imagination. They pull you out of your head and into your body. They remind you that progress is physical, behavioral, real. Write one paragraph, even if it's bad. Send one message, even if it's awkward. Take one step, even if it feels pointless. Action creates feedback. Feedback creates clarity. Clarity creates direction. This is the order most people get wrong. They think clarity leads to action. In reality, action leads to clarity. You don't find the path by thinking about it. You find it by walking. Fear will not disappear when you start. It will walk with you. That is normal. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is movement in its presence. There will be days you hesitate, days you doubt, days you fall back into old habits. This does not mean you are failing. It means you are human. The mistake is not falling. The mistake is turning a fall into a full retreat. Return to action without drama, without self-hate. Just return. Your life does not change when you feel motivated. It changes when you stop negotiating with yourself, when you decide once and follow through many times. This is where discipline is born. Not from force, but from honesty. From doing what you said you would do, even when no one is watching. And once you do this long enough, something shifts. Action becomes part of who you are. You stop seeing yourself as someone who plans and start seeing yourself as someone who acts. Identity follows behavior. In the next and final slot, we will destroy the idea of one day completely and show how to anchor your life in real, present action that compounds over time. This is where everything comes together. Killing one day and choosing the present. One day sounds harmless. It sounds patient, even hopeful. But in reality, it is one of the most destructive habits of the human mind. One day has no deadline, no pressure, and no cost. It allows you to believe that change is coming without requiring you to change anything now. It keeps the dream alive while quietly postponing the work. Every time you say one day, you push your life slightly further away. Not dramatically, not all at once, but subtly, almost invisibly. One day, I will start. One day, I will leave. One day, I will become who I want to be. These phrases feel gentle, but they are empty. They are promises without commitment. And over time, they weaken your trust in yourself. Each time you say one day and do nothing, a part of you learns that your words do not carry weight. That is why motivation fades. That is why confidence feels unstable. You're not broken. You're simply tired of making promises you don't keep. One day loses its power the moment you choose a date. Not a vague future. Not soon. A real day. A real action. Something specific and small enough to be done even when you feel tired, distracted, or unsure. When you put action on the calendar, imagination no longer protects you. Fantasy turns into responsibility, and responsibility pulls you back into reality. Reality is uncomfortable, but it is also grounding. It brings you into the present, the only place where anything real can happen. You do not need to change your entire life at once. That belief is another trap. You only need to stop escaping into tomorrow. Your future is not built in emotional breakthroughs or dramatic moments of clarity. It is built in ordinary days through simple actions repeated over time. This is where most people quietly give up. Not because the path is impossible, but because it is not glamorous. There is no applause for consistency, no recognition for showing up when no one is watching, no instant reward for choosing effort over comfort. But these invisible choices shape your character, and character shapes your life. There will be days when you fail, days when you avoid, days when you fall back into old habits. This does not mean you are weak. It means you are human. The difference between those who change and those who remain stuck is not perfection. It is return. The ability to come back without drama, without self-hate, and without turning one bad day into a story about who you are. Returning is strength. As you continue, comparison may appear. You will notice others who seem far ahead, more confident, more successful. If you let comparison guide you, it will drain your energy. Progress is not measured against others. It is measured against who you were yesterday. If you move one step today, you are building momentum, even if no one sees it. Small actions compound slowly and quietly. You may not notice the change at first, but one day, you will look back and realize you are standing somewhere new. Not because you planned better, but because you showed up consistently. This is how identity changes. Through evidence, not affirmations. You stop asking who you want to be and start answering that question through your behavior. You become someone who acts, not someone who waits. Life does not reward intention. It responds to engagement. You do not need permission. You do not need certainty. You do not need to feel fearless. You need to participate fully, honestly, and now. If there is one thing to take from this, let it be simple and clear. Your life will not change because you understood these words. It will change only if you act on them. Not tomorrow, not one day, now. Choose one thing you have been postponing. Break it down until it feels almost too small to matter. Then do it within the next 3 days, regardless of how you feel. That single action will do more for your life than years of planning ever could. This is the end of dreaming as escape. This is the beginning of building as truth.